Hello, hello. Welcome back to the next ClickUp training in this series. Today, we're going to be talking about notifications because when you start really working in your ClickUp, you're going to start having a bunch of notifications and they can get wild and crazy overwhelming really, really fast. So I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your notifications so that way they're to your specifications and they're not as overwhelming, or hopefully not overwhelming at all. All right, so we're going to get back into our account here, Kim's account that we've been using for this entire series to not overwhelm you, okay? And so you guys know where the notifications bar is. I went through this at one point, okay? Now I have not been actively using this workspace. So I've been leaving things in here so that way you can kind of see what they look like. So this is what overdue tasks are going to look like, or tasks in general, okay? But this is where your notifications all come. In this case, these are all overdue. However, this isn't where you actually change your notifications to where you know what you get here, okay? So we're going to go ahead here. You go down on the bottom left side of your computer screen here, and you're going to see a bunch. You're going to hopefully just see your own. I have a bunch of things, okay? But you're going to go over here where it says notifications, okay? So we're going to click on notifications. And it's now going to bring up notifications for the workspace in which you are in. In this case, this is Kim's workspace. And I'm receiving notifications from everywhere in Kim's workspace. So you can see how that can get overwhelming. If you're getting emails, you're getting notifications on your phone, you're getting notifications inside ClickUp, you're getting notifications on your browser for different things, that can get overwhelming really fast. And so this is what I tell people is to go in here in your notifications for the workspace. If you're in multiple workspaces like I am, you can actually customize them for each workspace, okay? So we've been able to go ahead and do that here. All right, you can also learn more. I'm going to walk you through it anyway. These are watcher settings, and we talked about watchers just a little bit in the video before this. And so watchers are like, you're not actively doing anything on the actual task, like nothing is assigned to you, but you kind of want to just be involved in the process of the task being completed. So like if it gets, there's questions, or if it gets completed, then it's going to tell you those things, okay? So my watcher settings here is, when do you want to be added as a watcher on a task? When a task is created, or when a new task is created in a parent task that you're watching, like when you edit a task or a subtask, when you comment on a task or a subtask, okay? So you can actually customize this for your workspace. This works really, really well if you have multiple people in your workspace. If it's only you, then it doesn't really matter because you're the one creating all the tasks and completing them inside of your workspace. So you can go ahead and check what you feel is useful here. These are smart notifications. So when you're active on the web, you want to delay notifications by how many minutes, okay? Or it can be hours. So you can choose to do that. I don't usually, because I don't have actually anything come to me in my browser. So this is when you're on the web. So this is basically, if you have it open on your desktop, it's not going to send notifications somewhere else unless you haven't done anything with those notifications for whatever you have marked here, okay? That is how I see that working. So this is where we get to have some fun. So these are blocked off in sections. So like these ones are all about comments. Now, personally, I don't need 500 emails. So I actually knock these off everywhere. Okay. So I'm not going to receive emails if I'm assigned comments, or if I have resolved comments, or a comment was assigned to me. Nope. The inbox here, let's make sure that we are clear here. The email is to your email that you have set up in this account, okay? Your mobile is your mobile device in which you have ClickUp downloaded on, and you're logged into that account, okay? Your inbox is that notifications tab that I first showed you when I started this video, okay? Where all those overdue ones had popped up. That is the inbox inside of your ClickUp, all right? And then you have your browser, which means they're going to pop up somewhere on your screen. I'm not sure where they pop up because I turn them off every single time, because I don't need to know about it. All right, so I'm actually going to also, like I said, I click these all off as well. I do have them tell my mobile because I have everything is centrally located on my mobile device. And so even if I don't address it at that time and I just swipe it later, like my brain has registered that it is there. And if it's important, then I go and address it immediately. If it's not, it's actually still in my inbox over here. So I can leave all of these here. I want to be notified of all of these things here, period. Okay. You can choose, like, if you're like, I don't really care if I'm notified if there's a resolved comment, then you can uncheck it, whatever. But these are the two forms in which I get notified. All right. And then you go to the next set, which is tasks. As you can see, there's quite a bit more here for tasks. So we're going to go through these a little bit slower. I will not go through all of these with you because, well, we don't need to know that. So when new tasks are created, what are the types of notifications that you want to have like sent to you? Okay. These are outside of the ones that you create yourself. Understand that. Okay. So notify and watch all new tasks, or notify me when new tasks are created. Don't notify me when new tasks are created. If you're the only one in your workspace, you don't need to be notified of this. However, if you want to think long-term, or if you do have someone else in your space and you want to be notified when new things are created, you could, check this instead. Okay. So I'm going to press don't notify. I'm obviously going to get rid of the email. I'm going to, I'm not actually receiving any of these, so it doesn't actually matter, but I'm just going to leave these open. The assignee changes. So let's say there's someone else in your workspace and you want to know if someone else is, doing the task instead now. So you can leave those as well. Okay. Recurring notifications. Do you actually want to be told when you have a recurring task that it's been recreated? To be able to notify you again at the proper time. Like, if you want to know, then you can go ahead and have notifications. Otherwise, you could turn these off all across the board. The only ones you can't turn off for the inbox are going to be the ones with this asterisk. Okay. But as you know, I'm going to turn off all of these anyway because I don't need them. So you've got status changes, tasks assigned to you, dependencies, which I didn't talk about dependencies yet, but maybe later on in an advanced training. Those are a little more complicated. But I just defaultly always have these things telling me. See, there's nothing being notified here in mobile, but it always will show up in my inbox inside of my ClickUp account. And that's totally fine. All right. I do want to be notified if I'm, if I mentioned something. A lot of these are when you have multiple people in your workspace. And so you can go through here and, check off what you want and uncheck what you don't want. I just missed a few here in email. Like I said, I don't get anything sent to my email on purpose. All right, so we can move on to this next spot. Start and due dates. So when the due date changes, do you want to be notified of that? Which task? Only your assigned tasks? Or is it all tasks, right? Like I said, I'm getting rid of all browser and all email notifications personally. If the due date is overdue, do you only want to be all the tasks when they're overdue, or just assigned tasks? Okay. The before start date reminder. So if it's a start date, it can give you a reminder 5 minutes before. Okay. You can choose to have that. They're not defaultly on. Same with your overdue 5 minutes before. You can choose to have these come as you choose. Okay. You can have your daily due date summary email. Okay. So your assigned task, it'll send you an email at this time. This is the only time where email is the only option. So I actually do personally get this one because I like to, for all of my workspaces, because I like to have a quick overview in the morning. I just see kind of what's on the agenda really quickly instead of having to go into it right away. Okay. So as you can see here, there are other things that you can choose. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to go super in depth with these because they are self-explanatory in the sense of what they do. So the priority changes or tags are added. These are called click apps, by the way. You have a time estimates added, and I will go into another video. Probably the next video is going to be about click apps. So you can put into operation. The words are escaping me today, but make it to where it's available, like time tracking and different things like that. So some of these aren't available because they're not turned on in the workspace, but I will go through that in the next video. So you have them. Okay. So like I said, we're going through and we're turning off all the notifications inside a browser and email. All right. Because I don't need them, but you would go through this a little slower. Okay. Because you have never done this. I have done this so many times. Okay. Done this so many times. So this is how you want to do this. And in order to get back to this, you just click the back button and it has now taken you back to your workspace. Again, this is where all of those, this is the inbox, okay? The notifications over here. This is considered your inbox when you're talking about notifications, okay? So I hope this was super helpful. This is something that like I didn't, when I first came into ClickUp, I didn't realize that was the reason I was overwhelmed with notifications, was because I was being notified in multiple ways for one, but also that there was just ones that I didn't need to be notified of that I was being notified of. Okay, so go ahead and go in there and you can change that for every single workspace that you are part of for your personal notifications, and then be able to, change those whenever you choose. You go to each one the exact same way. So if you have any questions or you want me to go through a specific thing, like if you're like, I don't know what this notification really is, I don't know what this is talking about, I can absolutely go through and like talk about some of the more confusing ones per se, and we can go from there. And the next week's video is going to be all about the Click apps, how to turn them on, turn them off, what they do, which ones are available in which accounts. I've been going through all of this in my free account, so that way you can see that what is available for free in ClickUp, and then as you grow or as you need more features, that you're able to then upgrade to their next plan without too many issues. Okay, so drop any of your questions below. If you need any clarity on anything, I would be happy to give that to you. Let me know if you're excited about the Click apps video tutorial next week. Give this a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, as we are going through this how to get started with ClickUp series. I would love to be able to give you any support that you need. So if there are specific questions that you have about ClickUp in general, go ahead and drop those questions on any videos, and then I'll be able to create those tutorials for you. Until next time, have an amazing rest of the day. And if no one's told you today, you're amazing,